Hi and welcome. My name is Arwen Brooke, and today we're going to do a really fun mat class that's going to be like healing energy for your shoulders. You're going to do core work, you're going to do glute work, you're going to do all of it, but your shoulders are definitely going to love this workout. So we're going to do the beginning with the foam roller. We're also going to use the magic circle near the end and a TheraBand interspersed between. So grab your props and let's get started. So we're going to begin seated with our roller. And you can make your way into your Z-sit position or mermaid position. I'm going to take the roller to the outside of the right knee and then just reach the left arm out to the side. Take a nice big breath in, and on the exhale, we'll just side bend and flow into a nice little stretch for that left side and then rise back up. We'll do several of these, so take your time getting set up. In this instance, mirroring you, my right knee is folded in front of me and my left leg is folded back. Good. Good morning, Jay. And good morning, Amanda and Lynn, Samantha and Stephanie and Cheryl. Super awesome to see you all. And we'll bring it back in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to roll to that side stretch, bring the top arm around the front of the body and land both hands on the roller and walk them maybe a little bit apart. And then just stay there and take your spine out as low as it'll go with your chest reaching forward towards the roller. And then round your spine to bring the roller towards you. Roll right back out. This time reach your heart forward, chest rising up. We're going to do that a few times, okay? So just alternating between the round back and then the extension or swan, and then repeat. You can have your arms palms facing in, or you can have them palms facing down. You could even do palms up if that felt good. And then let's bring this last one in as a swan. So the next time you're coming in and rising up, your heart is stretching up towards the sky, and then you'll take your front hand or left hand out and around on a nice big circle. And then you can just leave the roller there, take your left hand to the mat, and side bend over to the left. Okay, so we're gonna just rise up now and bring the roller to the other side, reset, and do all of that activity to the second side. Left leg now folded in front, right leg folded back, and your left hand's on the roller. When you are ready, you'll start to just flow out and back in a nice little side stretch. Good. Good morning, Beth. And coming back in and up. We'll do two more like that. Feel into that left arm as you connect into the roller. You're going to need some strength there. See if you can shrug the shoulder down away from the ear and also press into the roller. Put a little bit of more sort of engagement downward into the roller, especially on the return, to support you. Then we'll go out again and stay. And then spin your shoulders, bring both hands to the roller, make adjustments. Your right arm or left arm might need to widen out. And then you'll round your spine, take the roller away, reach your chest forward, round your spine to come back in. And then rolling out, and then rising up, heart forward and over the roller as you lift up and get longer. And then lengthen back down and round. Feel the flow through these two different approaches kind of coming in this really natural, organic way that has no start and no stop, just a real fluid energy expression in your body. And then we'll finish with the swan. Lift your chest and rise up. Walk your left arm in, right arm circles around and brings you all the way back in. Okay, that's not the last time we're going to do all of that, but we're going to set it aside for right now. You can just move your roller out of the way, and you can either come to sit in a cross-legged position, or you can move to kneeling or any other sort of restful position for your lower body. And we're going to grab our TheraBand or belt. Okay, so what we're going to do is start by stretching the arms out to the sides, And then just start by spinning the palms. Let's go left palm up, right palm down to start, and then switch. And you're just gonna play with movement in the wrists, and then feel into the movement, the rotation in the forearms. As you know, there's those two long bones in the lower arm, and you can visualize them just kind of rolling one over the other. And then you're going to let that twist keep coming up the arm. Now your upper arm bone feels a little extra sort of emphasis of the movement. Shoulders getting warm, arms getting warm. And then let your shoulders spin into this movement. So your shoulder rolls forward, and maybe your rib cage dances a little bit with this too. It's not as much the emphasis, but it's all good. And then you're going to take your left palm up, right palm down. And in fact, let's focus more on forward and back. So your left palm is aiming forward, right palm is aiming back. And then you're going to bring the left arm up and overhead and reach it behind your head. And then bring the right arm behind you, still with the palm facing back. And then we're going to unwind from that position and switch. So your right palm is forward, left palm is back. And then reach the arms around and back. So you're reaching into that stretch we often do, but we're spinning the arms and feeling into that rotation, and we're not going to really stay as long in the stretch just yet. And we're just playing with that rotation, feeling into what the arms can do here. If they're not moving all the way behind you, say they're just getting to here, because that's what's comfortable for you in this moment, that's okay. You're just going to the places that feel like a healthy, fun challenge this morning, okay? And then let's finish so that we're balanced to both sides, and then release the arms down. We're gonna take our band and make that stretch a little bit more official. So we'll take the band in the left hand, and then you'll just drape it behind your head. And then with your right palm facing back, fold that arm in and bring your hand to the band. If you can reach, and creep your hands towards one another to get into the most successful, encouraging stretch position for you this morning. So again, if you are having a hard time with this position seated, you could be up on your knees, you could even be standing or in a chair. And we're going to feel into the stretch not only on the left tricep, but on the right shoulder in the front. There's often a stretch there. And so we'll just take one more breath, lengthening up through the spine, drawing the chin down and the back of the skull up towards the sky. And then just gently release the right arm out and free. And then you can just pass your band to the right arm. So you'll bend the elbow and then take your left arm out, turn your palm back, and then keep that as you swing the lower arm underneath. And then take hold of your strap and creep your hands together, and just notice how your shoulder feels here on the right, on the left, and how it's different. The way we use our bodies tends to be, you know, different side to side. For me, the left arm is like the carrier, the heavy lifter, while my right arm, you know, is the one that unlocks the door or pushes the button on the keys or whatever. So there's really different skills and strengths to our shoulders, and you'll feel that here. And then we'll just kind of finish there, unwind and release that left arm, and then come back to the start. Okay, so now we're going to take the roller with us to the mat and move to an all fours position. The roller is just going to cross our mat to start, and you'll place your hands on the mat. From here, you're going to start with a nice lengthened spine, and then just give yourself a really simple cat stretch, hold and breathe. Practice taking some full breaths in and really accessing the depths of your lungs and the depths of your rib cage to help create some space and stretch there. What we all might give for a real hands-on massage right now. But in place of that, we're going to try to offer it to our bodies in this practice, moving with power, but a gentleness and a purpose that is deep. So you're moving from within. When your lungs inflate, they're at the depths of your being, pressing into your soft tissues in your rib cage to open you out from within. Pretty profound stuff. And then go ahead and move back to neutral and reach your chest forward and hold there for a few moments. As you come into extension, keep lifting away from the ground, lift up from gravity, hover your heart through your arms and see if you can spin your upper arm bones into external rotation. So your chest is encouraged to come forward even more, as if your hands were going to spin your fingertips away from one another. And then keep breathing, lifting the abdominals, but opening the front of the chest, letting your breath fill up the front of the body. And then exhale, back to neutral. We'll take our roller a little bit further out in front of us and use it to support us in some more flowing movement for the spine. So you're going to start with your arms straight out over the roller, and you can just kind of tilt forward, find that long diagonal line. And then we're going to move like we did in our mermaid. You're going to draw the sit bones down, lift the abdominals, fill into that space of the back body as you round, and then round forward. This time, heart forward, chest forward, you'll come up into more of an extension. Not super high, but just as much as it feels good. And then reach the heart forward as you lower down. And again, exhale to round. So we're alternating. And forward. And heart forward. So cat-cow with the roller. Good. And we'll do that one more time in each direction. And heart forward to finish. And then let it stretch out and hold. You're going to just take your roller in through a cat stretch, rolling in and up. And then we'll just move it to the side for a moment. I am reminded that when I use the roller in class, I might as well not use a mat. So I'm going to scoot that out of the way. All right, so what we're going to do now is come down onto the front of our thighs. Position yourself so that the roller is right in the middle, and you're going to have your elbows on the mat, forearms on the mat. You can interlace your hands. And then lift up out of the elbows and stay for a few moments, just finding the connection under the armpits. And then from here, we're going to just push the elbows into the mat at the same time that we lift the low abdominals and lift the bottom ribs and round the upper body. So we are massaging the front of the thighs, but we're also playing with a little extra movement in the upper back. Pushing the elbows deeper into the mat. Lift the bottom ribs and round. And then roll back. And again, push, lift those bottom ribs. So it's like an upper abdominal curl. Your eyes will come back towards the roller as you flex that upper body. Push down into the mat. Really send those elbows deeper into the mat as you round and come up and back. Two more like that. Push, hover, and round. And one more. Filling into that space between your shoulder blades. And then roll back. And now we're going to turn onto our side. I'm going to move to my left side. You might be on your right. That's all good. Keeping your right or bottom elbow on the mat. Your top leg can fold to come to a supportive position in front, or the legs can stack. First, we're going to massage, gliding from hip to just above the knee. Again, sample the whole span of your thigh from hip to knee, but if you notice any sort of particularly tight and tender places, you might slow down through there. You might even pause there. And then we're going to do just that. So pick your position that feels like it needs it the most. Let yourself rest there. Keep your bottom elbow on the mat and forearm too, and then take your top hand to the sky. And then bend the elbow and bring the back of the hand to the head. You're going to lift up nice and tall so your legs could still be here if that suits you. If you're able to stack, that's just another level of balance challenge. And then from here, what we're going to do is push into the floor with that bottom elbow and turn your body, twist, and feel that same sort of ab curl twist as you turn towards the mat. And then inhale, keep lifting up out of that bottom arm, and exhale, twist downward. And inhale, twist open. Exhale, twist and turn down. Inhale, spiraling open. And last one. Keep lifting up out of that bottom elbow, and then square and release the top arm. We'll move to the other side. So you'll just simply roll across the top of the thighs to the other side. And we're gonna massage the outer leg. So you have your IT band, but you also have the big muscles of your quads and your hamstrings that meet at the IT band. So rocking a little bit forward and back of the IT band, or that sort of straight down the side of your leg, you might get a little bit more bang for your buck or release for your rolling. And again, slow through the tight spots, breathe. Try not to sort of create inner resistance to the roller. You're trying to allow it to come in and release tension. And then you'll find that spot that feels the most sort of valuable, or as though it just feels reasonable. Your top foot can bend and land on the mat. You reach your top arm up to the sky, fold the elbow, place the hand behind the head, lift up out of that bottom arm, and exhale, spiral to twist. Inhale, turn and open. Exhale, spiral down. Inhale, open up. And whew. Yes, there's a wobble factor. And open. One more, twisting down. Lift up out of that bottom arm. And then square and reach. And then circle the hand back to the mat. Coming back to the front of the thighs. Elbows on the mat once again, palms on the mat this time, and then spin your palms a little bit away from one another to feel the upper arm bones. Spin into external rotation as well. And we'll just finish with a little bit more massage to the tops of the thighs, all the way back to the hips and down towards the knees. Adjust your arms as needed. Okay. And now from there, we're going to carefully roll back, land the knees down, and bring the roller out in front of us. So you can set it on the mat just in front of you. And we're going to explore. Well, first we'll just leave it a little bit further out. I'm going to have you place your forehead on your hands. And then reach back, take hold of your left ankle, and give yourself a stretch through that quad. You just massaged it, so it's going to surrender a little bit more easily to your stretch, which is really nice. See if you can feel the bottom of your pelvis, your pubic bone, really anchor into the mat, and then reach the knee down the opposite leg towards the big toe of your right foot. And hold. Stay with that and breathe, and see if you can connect into your glutes a little bit more, using them to help you tuck the tail or press the pubic bone more deeply into the mat. And then carefully unwind from there. Shake the legs out, and we'll take the other side. Okay, so you've got your hands clasping, your shoulders open back, and then pressing your pubic bone into the mat, starting to elongate through the right thigh, trying to reach the knee towards your left big toe. And again, feeling into your glutes as best you can, so that you're just helping to wake up more stretch and wake up more power in the muscles that support you without that tension. So tension forms in a response to a lack of support. We get tense around the areas that feel like they need more support. So if we can bring the support from our glutes, then those other tight spots can let go. They've served their purpose. And then just release, let that leg go. Roll your thighs side to side, and then go ahead and release. We're going to bring the roller back in. This is optional if your roller doesn't feel supportive here, but I'm going to have you place your forehead on the roller. We're going to just keep our head still, and to keep the roller from rolling away, I want you to do just a tiny little chin nod. So there's an activation of the front of the neck. If you'd rather do this with your forehead on the mat, or you can prop your forehead with another sort of lower cushion, that's okay. For those of you it's working for, you're going to keep the chin nodded, keep length to the back of the neck, and then you're going to take your right arm out to the side, hovering. Your palm is going to spin towards the ceiling, and then you're going to bend the elbow and bring the hand around to your low back, maybe a little bit higher, and then reach it back out, palm down, and then circle it overhead to the back of the head, just like we did seated a little bit ago. Circle it around your body, palm up, bring it to the low back, circle it out, palm down, and behind the head. Now lift your abdominals here. Keep this low back happy with the tail tucked under pubic bone, pressing into the mat. We're doing this sort of shoulder challenge on the right. One more time. Lift the bottom ribs if you can feel into that. And one more time to the back of the head. And then release the arm down. So it's same thing on the second side. Left arm floats out to the side. Palm will be up towards the ceiling. Fold it into your low back, maybe up towards your shoulder blades. And then circle it around your body. Palm down, comes to the back of the head. And repeat. If this is bothering your low back, should definitely put your head down on the mat or turn it to one side. And just make sure you turn it to the other side halfway through. We've got 2 more to go. Bottom position is palm up. Top position is palm down. One more. And then circle it around and back to your side. And then go ahead and carefully remove the roller, push up from there, and we'll take a child's pose. So you'll let your hips rest on your heels, knees together, your arms can be on the mat or on the roller, outstretched. And again, fill up. Use the power of your breath to inflate from the inside out. And then we'll just come rolling in and up to seated. Okay, we're going to use our feet on the roller next. So go ahead and make your move, switching positions. You're going to start perhaps seated and then roll down. We want the feet on the roller once you're there. Okay, so as we find our way into position, your feet on the roller, set them up parallel. Bring your hands to your pelvis and find the bones in the front, the ASIS, so those two side sort of most prominent points of the front of your hips, right in the front. And then we're going to just tip your pelvis towards 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, meaning we are tucking and then arching, or tilting and flattening our low back into the mat, and then allowing our low back to float away. Somewhere in the middle of all that is our sort of neutral position, that place where our body is designed to rest into if we're not in the middle of some other activity. And then what I'm going to have you do is tip towards 12 o'clock and hold, and then bring your arms on a big circle overhead, and then palms up to the sky, bend the elbows, swing them wide, pull the elbows apart as you then nod your chin and give space to bring your hands interlaced behind the head. Keep reaching the elbows apart from under the armpits, and then start with a nice deep breath in, and on the exhale, we'll curl up with the upper body and lower down, and exhale to curl. Your pelvis is still tilted towards 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock being your belly button, and lower down, widening the elbows, and then hold the next one, curl up and hold. From here, you're going to just take your roller and move it out a little ways. Exhale, curl a little deeper, bring the roller in. You can roll to your heels or the backs of your heels, and then on the way in, come all the way up to your toes. And inhale out, exhale, curl in, and again. So each time your legs come in, you're going to try to increase the tilt of the pelvis and the depth of your ab curl. So if you were a roly-poly bug, right now you're just partially roly-polied, rolled in, and as your knees come in, you're going for full curvature, full ball shape, and out. 2 more. And 1 more. Feel those bottom ribs sink into the mat, and then lower back down. And then take your feet into a nice comfortable bridge position. And we're going to do a little bridging here. So you're going to start with your arms long by your sides. For those of you that have sensitivity in your hamstrings, if you find this too intense, you can do this with your feet on the mat. And what we're going to do is steer from the pelvis, curl the tail under, moving through 12 o'clock, keeping 12 o'clock all the way up, moving into our bridge. At the top, open the chest, press the back of the arms into the mat all the way down to the pinky finger, and then keep that as you roll back down. Active arms and movement through the spine. Inhale, rock to neutral. Exhale, tip the pelvis, curl back up. And take a breath at the top. Exhale, roll back down. And 2 more. Moving through the low back, finding all the yummy, sort of gooey glide through the spine and trying to find it. If it doesn't feel super gooey yet, that's okay. We're still working our way through warming up that lower spine. And then find your way down and rest. Take your arms up to the sky and back. On your exhale, you're going to start to reach forward and roll the roller out. We're coming up into a full roll up. And I need a little more space. And then we'll stretch towards our toes at the top. And then curl the tail under, rolling all the way down, bending the knees at the bottom, or on the way down rather. And then start to move into your next roll up. If you benefit from a pad under your low back, this is the time to use it. And rolling down, bending the knees. Let's take the arms on a circle this time. Palms up to the sky. Reach the arms around your center and roll up if space allows. And then we'll roll down with the arms coming overhead. Finding that movement in the shoulders, the circular motion, leading with your pinky fingers. And rolling back down. Let's do 2 more. Reaching forward and rolling back. 1 more time coming up. We'll all meet there at the top as you circle the arms and rise up. Reach towards your toes. And then start to curl the tail under and roll back, keeping the legs long to start. You're going to move past neutral, so you're kind of rocking onto your sacrum here. And then on your exhale, you're going to scoop and pull the knees in. Try not to let that knock you back. And reach out. And 2 more. And 1 more. And roll down. Okay, at the bottom, take a breath, reach the arms on that big same arc. So this is the same flow so far. Roll all the way up. Reach towards your toes. Now we're going to take our spine back part way, roll back to your sacrum, and then we're going to reach our arms both over to the right, and the knees are going to come to the left. And reach out, and good. 1 more. And then lengthen and roll down. Arms overhead. Big circle to come back up. Reach towards your toes. Stay there and breathe. Find that power in your abdominals to move you back. And then pause. Swivel your shoulders now to the left and exhale, knees to the right. And 1 more. Lengthen out and swivel center as you roll down. Bring your arms out to the sides and rest there a moment. Bring your knees in and take the roller with you. You can try, as I am, to use your feet to bring you here. We're going to place the roller between your inner thighs and your ankles, and then reset the arms out to the sides, palms up. Keep your knees and roller in close at first, and then just sway your knees over to the right, and then come center. Swaying left, keep the left shoulder or right shoulder down, and center. Keep going alternating sides and really focus on that opening of that opposite shoulder. So yes, the core and the legs are involved, but shoulder opening is a huge benefit and focus. The more you can keep that shoulder open, the greater the stretch through the entire oblique sling. And 1 more. And then come center. Support the roller for a moment. Let your feet come down. And let's take your hands to the ends of the roller and press into the ends. Drop your shoulders onto the mat and then lift them off. And drop them down and lift. So the roller is rising and falling. Now drop the shoulders onto the mat, keep pressing into the roller and bring the roller overhead. And then towards the thighs. And overhead. And towards the thighs. 2 more like that. And 1 more. And then bring your arms just to the start position, shoulders against the mat. And then you're going to start with the lower half of the body again. Curl the tail under and come up into a bridge. At the top, breathe in, and on the exhale, you're going to float the arms overhead and reach them towards the thighs. And overhead and thighs. As your arms come towards your thighs, see if you can tuck the tail under even more and bring your low ribs towards the mat. 2 more. And 1 more. Reach the arms overhead to finish. Keep pressing into the roller as you curl the tail under and roll back down. Now we're going to bring the roller underneath the knees and then right underneath the hips. So if you have a pad under your low back, it's no longer needed. You're going to bring your hips up, land them on the roller, and then start to march one leg and then the other into the air. So with both legs up, you're going to take hold of your left knee and stretch your right leg out long and low and just let it hang into the stretch. Draw your left knee in tight, shoulders back. And then we're going to just slide your right heel and toes in along the mat and then up to the sky. Flex the foot on the way down. Find the mat with your heel, pull it in, pull the toes in, and stretch it back up. And reach. And drag. Good. And reach. And drag. And then as your knee comes in this time, you're going to reach it up to the sky. And you're going to do small circles with just the right leg, feeling into your pelvic stability. And then reverse your direction, just kind of keeping that leg nice, everything else nice and stable as that leg moves freely. And then bring your right knee in and send your left leg out long and low. Hold on to that right knee, drop your shoulders back into the mat, and then just lengthen for a few breaths. And then we'll just start to bend the knee, land the heel down, and then the toes, and slide them in along the mat. Folding at the hip and drawing the leg all the way up. Flex the foot on the way down. Let it reach out as far as it'll go before you bend. And then keep that leg low as it bends in. So we're trying to go out into our hip flexor stretch. Get into it, feel into it, and then keep it as you bend the knee. So there's an opening that's continuous through this movement. And last one. And then let the leg come in and up to the sky, and some small circles. And we'll just do about 4 or 5 in each direction. And it's about the stability of your pelvis and the rest of your body as much as anything else. Okay? And then bring both knees in. And we're going to start with the legs together and straight. And then we'll go up towards the sky with parallel legs and then start to lower the legs down. Inhale up and exhale lower. As your legs lower, maintaining your pelvic tilt, 12 o'clock, belly button sinking, and also the ribs sinking down. So notice the rib cage, especially in the bottom, will want to lift as your legs lower, and that's just going to cause you to lose your abdominal connection and actually start to work into your lower back, and that's just not something we need more of. Good. And then take the same position in a turnout. So the heels are together, toes are apart, and you'll lift and lower. And 3 more. And 2. And 1. Lower and hold, and then bend the knees in for frog legs, and then squeeze the legs together to shoot them out. Inhale the fold, exhale, squeeze. Ribs get heavy as the legs straighten. Add a point of the toes at the end of the frog. Pull in, feet flexed, press out, and then point. Flex, and point, and flex, and point. 2 more. And 1 more. And then bring it in. Let's stretch the legs up to the sky and do some large circles, opening and circling around together. Let them go as wide as they want to, and then scoop to get them as low as you were able without losing your rib cage and your pelvis. We'll go the other direction now. And last one, make it yummy and circle the legs together and then bend the knees in. Land just your left foot down, place it right under the knee, tip the pelvis towards 12 o'clock, and then practice reaching that right sit bone towards your left knee. From here, you're going to stretch the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, flex the foot and lower the leg down. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, flex and lower. Imagine you're standing on your left leg without the roller underneath you, and it's the left leg's job and the abdominals to keep you nice and level through the hips. Keep your low back long, your ribs sinking, and keep stretching into that left hip flexor. And then kick the leg up to the sky and small circles again at the top. Keeping everything stable and steady, and then reverse your direction. Length through the neck, and then bend the knee and land it down. Same setup, right foot under right knee, bring the left leg in. Tip the pelvis towards 12 o'clock and reach your left sit bone towards your right knee. And then straighten the leg up to the sky. From there, flex the foot, exhale and lower. Inhale, kick up. Flex, squeeze the buns and lower. And again, thinking about your right leg now and your abdominals holding you up against gravity. The roller is just sort of there in spirit. You're trying to use your own muscles. And 1 more. And then leg to the sky and circles. Keep everything else stable. Let the left leg have a sort of softness to it while everything else is strong. And then reverse your direction. And last one, bring it in and lower down. Take your hips up and the roller out from under you and rest there a moment. We're going to take the roller now and place it between the thighs once again. And then set it up so that the close end is just between the thighs and the other end is sort of more reaching out from the toes. And then you're going to hold the roller between your inner ankles and your inner feet. And now connect your hands behind your head. Elbows reach wide, shoulders soften down, and we sink to come up. And for the next few, think about that roly-poly bed. Try to aim your tailbone up towards the roller. And then take that one more time and hold. And then we're going to swivel the toe end of the roller to the right, your head and shoulders to the right. And then switch. And switch. And 1 more each side. Come center and roll down. And then we'll take the feet to the mat. Let the roller rest off to the side. And just take another bridge, pressing the hips up towards the sky. Once your hips are up, arms are down, I'm going to have you do those giant hip dips. So we're going to let the right hip come all the way down to the mat, touch, and come up. Spin the left hip all the way down, touch, and come up, and repeat. So just letting a little bit more movement into our spine through rotation. And then take your same movement And emphasize not just the hip coming down, but the ribs coming down. So if you're going left hip down, think of bringing your right rib cage towards the mat. And then, sorry, I think I said it wrong, but same side. So if it's your left hip coming down, your left rib cage is coming down. And then right hip and right rib cage. Just brings the twist a little higher up into your thoracic spine. Shoulders stay square and open. And then we'll level it out there and come all the way down. Okay, we're going to move on to our tummies now. So bring the roller with you. I'm going to flip this way. And take the arms long over the roller. Your legs can be anywhere from together or open about mat width apart, and then turn out, heels turned in, toes turned out, okay? And then your arms can start near the elbow, the roller near the elbow, and forehead hovering. Now again, anchor your pubic bone into the mat and think of their hip joints, right where your thighs meet your pelvis or your legs fold into your hips. That part of your body kind of splatting open into the mat. And then from there, shrug the shoulders down, press into the roller, and think of the front of the body now stretching, but not just the front where your skin is, but like at the front of your spine. Think about stretching the connective tissue at the front of the spine with your glutes strongly engaged to keep your low back from crumpling, and then lower back down. Push down into the roller again, rise up, use your glutes to give you the lift, and lower. Keep your eyes kind of forward of the roller at the highest, as opposed to looking at the wall in front of you or out the window, as that will fold your neck a little bit more than we want. So keep your eyes on the mat, no matter how far up you come. Okay, one more time like that. And then lower back down. And then bring yourself back up to all fours. And bring the roller underneath your thighs. So you're going to come back to the position we started in, or somewhere early on in class. Bring your heels turned in, toes turned out. And then we're going to place the hands a little wider and the shoulders and the elbows a little further out in front of us than our shoulders. And what we're going to attempt is finding a swan that fits our body. So some of us will keep our elbows on the mat, rock forward and lift the chest, and then rock back and think about lifting the legs. There's not going to be a giant movement. And then again, rock forward, lifting the chest. So we're rolling along the tops of the thighs, but we're in a back bend. We're also lifting the legs the entire time. Some of you with a little bit more range of motion in your spines might come up onto your hands and then rock back with straight arms. It's a bit more intense in a few ways, in the arms and in the back, so be kind to your body. I think the elbow variation is a little bit more realistic for even myself, so I'm going to do that. And last one, lifting the legs and lifting the chest, and then just help yourself back to the knees and back to all fours. And the roller, child's pose. The roller can come forward and hold your arms. Just let them rest there on the mat, on the roller, as your forehead is allowed to hang down between your arms. And then we're going to just bring ourselves up to all fours once more. The roller can live underneath the body. Okay, and then we're going to just start with the hands wide underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and we'll take the spine, elongate it first, and then we're going to hover the right arm out to the side. Fly that wing like an airplane, and then spin your palm up towards the ceiling, and you're going to bring that hand around to your back body, and then circle it, flip the palm, bring it overhead and behind the head. Again, circle, palm up, elbow in towards your waist, and then circle, palm down, elbow overhead. Keep lifting up out of that left arm, and one more time. And then reach overhead, fold, reach the arm wide, push into the mat, twist and open. Now hold there and fold that arm around behind your back. And then circle the arm up to the sky, bring it around to the back of the head, keep twisting, bring that elbow back. Reach it up to the sky, fold it behind you. Reach it up and over, elbow reaching to the sky. Last time, open and around, and up and behind. And then reach and circle the hand back to the mat. Okay, left side, reach the left arm wide into the side, palm flips up and the hand folds around in towards our shoulder blades. And then around, palm down to the back of the head, and circle around and to the back. Palm up and then palm down to the back of the head. Chin down one more time in that position. Palm up, circle around, palm down, and then fly the arm wide. Press into the mat and twist. Open to the sky, and then again, palm back or up as it folds behind your back. And then reach the arm up and around to the back of the head. Twist more, lift that elbow back. Circle around and palm up to the back of the head. Twist a little deeper. One more time. Palm out and palm down. Lift the chest, gaze towards your left elbow, and then circle the arm around and to the mat. Let's come back to kneeling. Bring the roller behind you and place it at your hips. We're going to take the shoulders back, the abdominals in, sit bones down, and then just bend the elbows and massage the back of the sacrum while also stretching the front of the shoulders, offering those arms a little bit more sort of balance and support. Okay, 2 more, and 1, and then release. And we're going to swap props. So you're going to take your roller, set it out of the way, and take hold of your ring now, your magic circle. In fact, I think I'm going to swap mine for the larger one. If you have 2 to choose from, let's use the larger one. Okay, so you're going to hold your ring on the outsides of the padding, out in front of your chest, and start with that same connection where your sit bones draw down, your abdominals pull in and up, and then shrug the shoulders up to the ears, and then lower back down, and then take your arms up towards the sky and lower, and feel into your shoulders as you press into the ring, even as the arms go overhead, feeling your shoulders kind of soften away from the neck. And then what we're going to do is combine that with a thigh stretch, the arms overhead, and then as you're ready, you're going to tip the pelvis more, reach the ring forward and lean back. Rise up, shoulders down, and again. So there's a lot going on here. Think about your bridge power. You're going to tip the pelvis back like you're in a bridge, and up, and your lean can be just like 1 degree, 2 degrees. Doesn't have to be big. And then finish high, lower the arms down. Take your hands inside the ring now, back the hands against the padding, and then reach your arms forward, pressing into the arms, trying to stretch the ring open. Take your arms overhead a few times, and press, and lower, and press, and lower. 2 more. Good, and 1 more, hold. From here we go into our thigh stretch, tip the pelvis back as we roll the arms forward, and again, create that counterbalance with your arms, tip the pelvis, use your glutes, and last 2, last 1, and then rise up and lower the arms down. Take your ring to the back of the body, hold between the hands around arm's length, and then start with the shoulders rolled back, abdominals drawing in, and we'll reach the ring back. And keep going, lifting the abdominals as you exhale, shrugging the shoulders down, and then we'll take the arms in and rest. Now we're going to step the left foot forward and just lift up through the spine, drop the left hip bone down, and lunge forward so that the hip on the right is in a stretch. You can let your torso tilt forward over that left thigh a little bit, and start to move the ring again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then come back. Step the left foot back, step the right foot forward. Drop your right sit bone down and then rock forward again. Left hip flexor now getting the stretch. Torso can tilt forward to make room for the arms and ring. And 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stay here, release the ring, set it to the side of your body on the right. Take your left arm up to the sky and send a little bit of weight down into the ring as you side bend. And just breathe and then release. Now we'll be doing that again on the other side. So you'll switch hands, switch feet, left foot forward. First, drop the left sit bone, rock forward, lift up on the abdominals on that right side especially, and then reach your right arm up to the sky. Press down into your left arm as you side bend. And breathe. And then circle the hands back to your sides, and we'll come back to kneeling. So now what we're gonna do is set the ring aside. Actually, I have a better idea. So what we'll do is we'll use the ring between our upper arms. So you'll place it first between your biceps. So it's kind of like that. And then move to the mat once more with your hands on the mat in front of your shoulders. Okay. So once you find your position, the ring is going to push your arms a little bit apart. So what you're going to do is squeeze your biceps in towards your midline, feeling into the way that hugs your shoulder blades into your rib cage. It turns on a lot more than just that, but we'll just call it some serratus power, some oblique power. Then from there, we're going to step back with the right foot, find your plank, and then the left, and hold. Breathe into that position. And we're going to take the right leg, lift it off the mat, and then pull your right knee towards your right elbow. Step it back. Left knee, left elbow, and back, and again. Rest between sets if you need. We're going to do 5 total. So we're at 2 and 3. 3. Keep your chin knotted. Keep lifting your bottom ribs. Last one each side. And then rest. Land the knees, release the ring, and take a bow towards the mat. Whew. Let's take both hands over to the right side, stretch back, palm to the mat, and reach your left hip over to the left and back. And then walk your hands over to the opposite side of the mat. Give yourself that traction away from your hands, pulling the right hip. Then waist long. And then come center and slide the hands in as we roll up. Okay, we are going to finish strong with some push-ups, but I'm going to give you an assist. So your ring is going to support you in this. So you place the pad of the ring against your sternum right at the front, and then lower yourself over the mat so that the pad is underneath, or the opposite pad supports you on the mat. Your arms may start bent, that's completely okay. And then you're just going to stay there for a few moments while you organize the rest of your body. So lengthen the spine, grow your neck long, chin down, and step one foot back into your plank. Step the other foot back as well and hold. See if you can elongate the low back with tone to your low abdominals and your glutes and your inner thighs. And then if it feels safe, start to move. You'll bend the elbows and reach into the mat to rise up. You can do 2, you can do 10. Keep your pelvis really lifted in the front as is pulling up towards your ribs. Sit bones drawing down towards your heels. One more. Or I'm doing one more. You can do more. You can rest your knees down at any point and take a rest. Let's do a child's pose first. Sit bones back over the heels. And then take your weight forward, tuck your toes under, and do a downward dog. Stretching your sit bones up to the sky. And then we'll just walk out the calves with a little stretch, alternating sides. And then come forward again, knees to the mat, and we're going to reset to something we've done early on in class. So the rest of our props are going to go by the wayside. And we're going to take the roller again to the side body. We're going to go into our mermaid. So just make sure you have some clearance around you with all your props. And then what we're going to do is take the right hand to the roller, left arm out long, and you're going to roll out like we did before, and also extend your top leg or your outside leg, and then come back in and reach and lengthen, and then come back in. So folding this left leg is option one as you come back in. For another level of challenge, you can go out, stretch the leg long, and then as you come in, hover the leg out in front of you, and then reach it out to the side as you go out and hover it forward. It's a bit of work in the hip flexor. If your hip flexors are kind of grumpy to start, that's not going to make them any happier. So don't feel like that's a good idea just because it doesn't feel, just because it feels intense. And then last time, hold out here, and we're just going to lift and lower for about 8. Stay lifted up out of your bottom arm, and then bend the knee and come all the way back in. Flow into the stretch to the opposite side. And then come back up. Okay, we get to do that all again to the other side. So swing your legs, grab your roller, make it feel balanced, check your space. So again, we start with a side bend that rolls us out, and we add the lengthening of the leg, and then we come right back in. And stretch out, and back in. And then again, you can keep doing it just that way, or you can add the swivel of the leg forward into hover, and then reach it out, and swivel it forward and hover. If you hadn't already figured out, we're making this a core exercise. So imagine it's your abdominals bringing the leg forward, like a teaser. And okay, last one. We'll go out and hold, and then lower and lift that leg. Stay hovered out of that bottom arm, shoulders down. And 3, 2, 1, and then bend the knee, bring it in, and flow to the right. Soften those shoulders, and then you'll circle the arm back to your side. You can come to kneeling and just take your roller out of the way, and just take your arms on a big circle up to the sky, and widen back down. Feel into the shoulder joint. Let's spin the palms back, and the palms up, palms back, and palms up. And hopefully you feel some of this a little bit more easefully in your body since where we began. And then we'll just circle down one more time and up, and then bring your palms together and hover your hearts up to meet your hands, arriving tall and strong and free. Awesome work, you guys. Thank you. I'd like to thank you once again for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you. Leave your feedback in the comments below, and subscribe to my channel to make sure you get notified when new videos are uploaded. And you can also follow me on Instagram at @ArwenBrooke_Pilates for more tips on what to do with these props at home and other news about classes. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you, and also I'd like to thank you once again for joining me. You did a great job. That was a lot of fun stuff and lots of challenges too. I'd like to thank you once again for joining me, and subscribe to my channel to be notified when new videos are released. Follow me on Instagram at @ArwenBrooke_Pilates, and leave a comment below. Let me know how you're feeling after class. Thank you.